We have a guest now to talk to, and our guest today is Britain's best female comedian.
Apart from Mrs. Merton.
Who's better, yeah. And it's Jenny Eclair, please.
Yeah,
Hi,
Jenny.
Richard.
Hello, Jenny, how are you doing?
I've gone off you.
Have you?
Yes, I never liked you.
Why not? What have I done wrong?
You said that I wasn't as funny as Mrs. Merton.
Oh, I'm sorry. It was only a joke.
Sulking now.
You are. She's a fictional
You know when
character.
he ravished you earlier, you've got something under your shoe. I think you've still got the price on. Yes, you have.
They knew. How much they cost you?
£69.95.
We said you not say anything rude, Jenny. You
I'm
said
not going to.
£69.95.
One person's licence fee there, down the toilet. Yes, it's yours, you, my gran, you paid for this, do you understand?
Jenny, you've been on the real Rich and Judy show. Were they as professional as we are?
Me. You know,
Why?
Steve's
Why did
boots.
that remind you of the real Rich and Judy?
I once went on the show in a pair of boots, and it was Richard and Judy or Anne and Nick. I can't really recall the difference.
Well,
and I got rather cosy like this with my boots, and I had a dog turd underneath my shoe. It was most unfortunate. I can say dog turd.
Well,
Turd's all right.
Yes.
3 times
Doggy
now.
poo.
Because you can say winky, but you can't say the Latin name for a winky.
Okay, leave
Right.
it
You can
now.
say
Yeah. No, you've been described in the Mirror as, in the Daily Mirror, as Britain's most outrageous woman. Do you think that's true? Do you think you are the most outrageous woman in Britain?
No, I don't, because I sometimes think I'm probably the dullest woman in Britain. I mean, it's not...
Well, you are.
We've shared flats, you know the sad truth. But I know it's not as if I go running around Sainsbury's shrieking and biting people.
Yeah,
well,
no.
yes, I do, actually, sometimes. But, no, it's a bit exhausting, that tag, but...
Well, you're quite outrageous, but you know
Sometimes.
Rosemary West, are you? Let's
All
face
right.
it.
The thing I wanted to get onto was both of you have something in common. You probably don't know this, but both of you, Rich and Jenny, have appeared naked in the theatre.
Yes, but I was actually on stage at the
I
time.
know, there is that. No, full frontal nudes in
Yeah.
proper plays, these two.
Yes, well, I did actually see your genitalia.
Can we say genitalia?
Because I took my opera glasses with me.
She got you.
She did get me.
Small.
I did,
My whole genitals are small.
I did do a play last year called Steaming, and there was nudity, and nobody really minds bras coming off, but it's when pants come off that people go, ooh! And my mother was in on the first night, and bra came off, pants came off, and all I could hear was my mother going, oh my God! And then I got stuck in my bra once. You know what that's like. What is it?
Oh, no, look, it's Dan, but no bacon. It's escalated. He's got beer now.
No, I'm sorry, Oh,
Oh, it was a
funny.
trick glass. Trick glass, see? He's got a sense of fun.
Yeah.
Anarchy isn't all work, is it? What are you doing there, Richard?
I'm just sitting here minding my own business.
I was trying to do a sensible
I'm
bit,
not.
and you're upstaging.
I'm not
you are.
upstaging. This is just fashion. I'm just wearing this. It's a fashion
Ridiculous.
statement, isn't it? It's cool. It's like the kind of thing Dave Stewart would do.
No.
It's cool.
It's the kind of thing Eddie Large would do.
It is.
It is. Upstaging Sid Little
it's
trying to
good.
do a serious song.
I'm going to carry on wearing them, even though I can't hear a word you're saying.
Take them
while
off.
I've got
Take them off.
Okay.
Anyway, joining us on the sofa to take a quick look at the Sunday papers, we welcome back our guest, Jenny Eclair.
Yeah, give it up, Jenny.
Thank you very much.
What's caught your satirical eye, your pride
caught
and
your
honesty
old eye?
Well, there was a little story in the News of the World about a man with one leg that was caught by his lover's husband and had to run away, but because he only had one leg, he couldn't run, he had to hop. And he hopped for a mile and then fell down dead.
The comedy
Made me
of
laugh
cruelty
the head
there, popularised by Samuel Beckett in many
I'm
ways.
not sure if we think that's funny or not.
We were interested in what do you think about the boxing story?
Women
Tuesday?
boxing.
Yeah,
yes.
women boxing. The British Board of Boxing Control says women can't box because they have PMT, which makes them aggressive.
Which is bad.
I think there's this ridiculous myth about women suffering from PMT. We don't suffer, we enjoy it.
I see.
But I don't know why women have to sort of copy men's way of fighting. I think we fight very well in our old-fashioned way. I mean, those gloves are stupid because you can't get hold of hair, can you, with the gloves on? Or get earrings out, because that's the way we fight.
We've you've seen, Stuart Lee has actually seen the winkies, I have to say, of 2 boxers, haven't you,
Yeah,
Stu?
that's
What have you
right.
seen?
Frank Bruno, I've stood next to in a toilet.
Yeah.
That's right. And also Prince Nassim, which was less impressive.
Yeah.
But,
He's a small
Really?
man. He's smaller than Frank Bruno.
Smaller.
In
Smaller
height.
than Richard.
with the boxing thing, though, I think that in the late 20th century, women have as much right as men to be battered repeatedly around the head until they become semi-unconscious, if they want to. That's all I'm saying.
And I've seen Dragar the Merciless doing a wee, Stu.
Yeah,
from Ice Warriors.
Yeah.
He wheezes ice as well. So.
Rich, no, stand, but no, babies. I'm going to get you this
It's
time.
never water, Stu. Damn him.
Right, our interview guest today has appeared in the Friday Night Armistice programme. He's written for Brass Eye and for Alan Partridge. but he's probably best known for his appearances in the pot noodle adverts. It's Peter Baynham.
Hey, Peter Baynham. Hey, say it, Pete. Say it.
No.
Say the thing.
No.
Pot noodle, say it.
No.
Say the thing.
No.
Say it.
Make me do it.
Say the thing that we all want to hear, Pete. Say it.
What do you want to hear him say?
They don't know.
They know.
I'm better known for my appearances
You're
on
not.
Radio 4's The Harpoon.
You are known.
I am. Hello, The Harpoon.
Nothing. Do you actually...
Too gorgeous.
Hey! That's brilliant. That's the best thing you've ever
Right,
done.
off he goes then.
That is the best thing I've ever done.
Cheers. I know.
Cheers, that's
Do you
all right, yeah.
actually
Now,
like-
do I get money
Do
for
you like
that?
pot noodles, though?
No.
Don't you?
I can say that because I'm not in the adverts anymore.
Oh, yeah, I noticed
On
that.
TV,
was-
though, you said you did.
Yeah, I
said
know. I
they
felt
were-
differently then. That was a year ago. There's a lot has changed since then.
Do you like
In
the
terms
new
of-
adverts better than the... Have you seen the new pot noodle adverts? No, they haven't. That's how successful they've been. They're like the Shawshank Redemption.
They're terrible.
They're awful,
Yeah.
Anyway, what, have you got any behind-the-scenes secrets about how the pot noodle adverts were made, Pete?
Yes, they were made with sick. Yeah, it's not that. I mean, the ones you buy in the shops aren't. Got sick in them. It's just that I like. It's nothing weird or anything. It's just that I prefer the. I like the taste of sick.
Well,
Sick.
Pete, we didn't bring you on here just
sick
to
or
talk about pot noodles,
No,
Pete.
no.
We also want you to eat some of them. So there you go. Which is your favourite flavour?
This is a trick,
Have you
isn't it?
seen pot mash?
Pot
Pete?
mash?
This is
That's a
new
fantastic
thing.
idea.
This is like mashed potato in a pot.
Yeah.
This is a new thing they thought up since Pete.
Are you going to eat that?
It's like potato, but worse.
Go on, eat it. Try one.
All right.
Go on, try one.
On
Go on,
Fist
I'll
of
taste
Fun,
some of
you
this.
played a kind of
This
character
is the-
who ate kind of really disgusting
Yeah,
things. didn't
yeah.
you?
And then for a
Think-
change, I did the adverts, the pot noodle adverts. But
You saw it coming.
no, I
That's
don't.
very
I don't
clever.
really like talking about it because I became a bit of a monster during that time. Really.
Right, why?
It was just. Well, it's a crazy world. Adverts, you know, because you get to know lots of other people in adverts. You know, I became very friendly with. Do you remember the Lund Polly advert? There was. Where there used to be two pillars, talking pillars, and one would say, get away. And then it would disappear and the thing would
Someone's
collapse.
just saying, move on to another question in my
Okay.
ear. The thing I wanted to ask
friendly
you,
with one of
I
those
wanted to
guys.
ask you was, you know, you do Friday Night Armistice. Yeah. The question I have is, how long does it take you and the rest of the team to apply the horrible prosthetic makeup that you wear?
It's about a day.
Is it?
A day, yeah.
Day's
yeah.
work.
How does it feel to be like the
Mine
best?
takes slightly less
How
than
did
the
it feel
other
to be
two,
the best-looking bloke on a TV programme?
Normally it would be great, but on the Friday Night Armistice, it's just all right, I suppose.
And you've been writing for a cartoon as well. What's that about?
Yeah.
Quickly in
that's
10
called,
seconds.
Okay, that's called Bob and Margaret, and it's about a dentist who's going through a midlife crisis.
We'll all watch
but
that.
He's a cartoon as well.
We'll
like
have to
The
leave
Simpsons.
Pete there. Thank you, everyone, to Peter. Too gorgeous.
Too
Baynham.
gorgeous! Too gorgeous!
To join us, have a look at the papers. Will you welcome back Peter Baynham, please?
Hooray! 1 moment of confusion in 2 weeks. It's been good.
I agree with you.
How long have we got here, anyone?
So, Pete, what has literally caught your Friday night
My Friday Night
Armistice
Armistice.
eye
It's
in the-
literally this week. This
Yeah,
week
yeah.
you can say that. Isn't
Yeah.
it? It is my Friday Night Armistice satirical. I was
Oh, yeah.
caught by the story about Stephen Hawking
Oh, yeah, what's
in the
happened?
papers, where he said the universe originated. It was the size. He said it was similar to a pea-like thing. Was
Before
this-
the Big Bang.
Yeah, I think he's
Right.
confused everything with just peas.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yes.
When he says
Yeah.
it's pea-like, do you think he means that it was the size of a pea,
Yeah.
or that it was really massive but had the qualities of a pea?
Yeah, it was infinitely large, but
Right.
was pea matter.
I think he's wrong,
Yeah.
right? Because, like, let's just take this table, right, for a start, right? This
Yeah.
is just a selection of a few of the things that are in the universe. By no means the majority, right? Let me try and get... By no
Some
means.
things.
Probably, like, less than 50% of the things in the universe are here. I reckon if I tried to put these all together...
Yeah.
Like, I'm never going to get that down to the size of a pea. So how... He hasn't thought it through, Stephen.
Pure science,
He
Rich,
has-
there.
look,
I think he says these things because he's cleverer than anyone else in the world, so nobody can disagree with him.
Yeah.
Right.
So he could
See,
say
he
the
says it.
universe is like a child's dress, and we the cheap child's dress. Yeah, and we can't prove he's
He
wrong.
certainly is a
because he's
mad
cleverer.
genius, isn't he?
He
He
is,
could be
he's
in a
brilliant.
James
He's
Bond
crazy.
film undersea.
I am going to destroy the world with my pea matter gun.
Have you read The Brief History of Time?
I have, yeah. Well, I got as far as anyone else, which is up to chapter 3.
Yeah.
And nobody gets any further. And if
Yeah.
you have to actually look for chapter 4 onwards, there's nothing there.
He knows.
Just
some
pictures of
black
Stephen Hawking
Yeah.
spending loads of money after that.
And there's the instructions to his
It's called a
voice
brief
box
history
thing.
of time, but it wasn't brief enough for me.
Wow, that was like real satire we did there.
It was,
Pete.
yeah,
Thanks
yeah.
for having us along. For the
We did
satire.
attack.
Give him a big round of applause. It's Pot Noodles. Too gorgeous, Peter Baynham. There he is.
Please welcome our guests today, who are from Channel 4's... something's gone wrong and I've just spoilt it by losing track of
That was the best
Go on,
build-up.
bring them in. Come on, bring them in.
Bring in the flowers. It's all right, there we go.
If this was Chris Evans, you'd go, oh, you'll never work again. Right.
You won't actually ever work again.
So there you are. It's from Channel 4, Light Lunch. Will you please welcome Mel and Sue?
How are you girls? All right.
That's good.
Before we start, we've just been sent this. You were actually featured in one of our celebrity heads on cats' bodies. Here you go. You're down here.
Oh, look.
That's you. John Stapleton was a lion. He's the king. And look, you're down there with the other daytime presenters as cats. Can you
We're
see that?
beneath Geraldo, which is that's excellent.
But above Bob Mills. But
Yeah.
then
Beneath Geraldo and above Bob Mills.
But Fern Britton's a cow there. She's a cow.
No,
she's got
just
Frisian markings.
Yeah, but she's a cat with Frisian markings.
Okay.
How do you feel about the fact that... Hello.
Hello.
How do you feel that someone's chosen to portray you as having the bodies of cats? Do you think that's
Flattered
appropriate?
by the Geraldo thing as well.
Who's Geraldo?
Geraldo's a sort of leather-faced old man, American man, isn't he? Have I got that right?
I don't know. I've never heard of him.
He's only on television for 10 minutes, and hierarchically he's far above us.
Do you know what? We've got 3.5 minutes for this interview. Shall we not spend most of it talking about Geraldo?
All right, then, OK.
OK.
What do you want to talk about?
Who's the best? You've interviewed loads of celebrities,
Yeah.
unlike
Oh,
us.
yes.
We've just interviewed you.
And
Who's your favourite celebrity you've ever interviewed?
There was a Richard Lee and a Stuart Herring.
We
That
were
was
on.
us.
Yeah,
We were on. Actually,
them.
when we were on,
Love
you
them.
you made us eat Arnold from Different Strokes' favourite food, which is beetroot and flowers.
Honestly.
They literally made
Oh.
it. So we're returning the compliment. There's a jar of beetroot for you each, which you have to eat by the end of the interview.
Eat the
and some
beetroot.
flowers, which Kate
These
brought
are flipping poisonous.
They're not edible like
We
the ones
really
you
have to
gave.
eat them.
I'm not going to spit mine out like you did. I'm
No,
going to
don't eat them.
Don't eat them,
Actually,
they're
no.
poisonous.
Stamens.
We
All
didn't
right,
think
never
we didn't think you'd be so professional to try and eat them, because I think they are actually poisonous tulips. But be a
if you eat-
sad end.
Can we eat the
Beetroot
beetroot?
is the antidote,
Beetroot
though,
was
so
nice.
it's all
That's
right.
good.
I like beetroot.
Who's the worst guest you've ever had? on
There were
Like
some
that?
people called
Sooty.
Stu Lee. and Richard.
Oh,
Not us again.
Stowe, do
Sooty was
absolute-
tricky.
Sooty.
We had 3 puppets and their puppeteer
Right.
sort of operators.
Right.
Roger
You know-
de Courcy and Nookie Bear. Who
Puppets,
was, yeah.
maybe.
Orville and
Yeah.
Keith Haring.
Yeah.
Keith
Herring,
Harris.
that's my
Keith
guess.
Haring. He was. I think he was a well-known artist. I don't think he was
dead
on.
now.
Yeah,
Sorry.
he's a dead artist.
I'll just eat my
That's
my
probably
beets.
the fact the guy's dead is probably why the puppet was difficult.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't really.
But Orville kept on interrupting anything we said.
Yeah.
I had
He's
Keith
cheeky,
Harris like
isn't he?
this for an hour. Just that.
Did you?
Go,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah,
Sue,
yeah,
yes,
that's
Sue.
What, on your
Anyway.
buttocks?
He wasn't. Well, no, that was later.
Oh, right,
On the
okay.
show, he wasn't on my buttocks.
Are you going on tour this year at all? I was wondering.
No,
Yeah,
but
you
are
don't want
you?
Yeah, we are actually going on tour. We're not really allowed to mention it on telly.
But seeing as you brought it up.
But as you brought it up, it's part of the interview now. We're coming to a town near you, everyone. Starting at
Where's your tour going to be then?
Norwich.
other places as well
Thanks
as
for
Norwich.
us.
Are you doing a new 6 o'clock show on the 31st of March, running Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays every week for
No,
6 weeks?
I can't imagine anyone's doing
Because
that.
we are doing it.
Well, Mel and Sue, they're doing a new show that starts at 6 o'clock.
Yes, this is very nice actually.
Give them a round of applause. Mel and Sue.
Ugh.
The disappointment ringing in the air. We were going to talk to Mel and Sue again about the news, but I suspect we'll be a bit pushed. You suspect? But it's like, yes, I suspect there isn't time. But we weren't going to talk about the news. But in fact, we've got real, actual news happening, which is that
Real
Mel has
live
spilt
news.
some beetroot on her
Beetroot
jumper
juice
here.
stains very
Which, as you
badly.
know, is a
If there's
very
any
bad stain.
soap powders advertisers watching, maybe we can get an advert out of it.
And we're going to have to leave it there.
Thank you to Mel and
On
Sue.
that bombshell.
Sue, the beetroot-covered women.
Give them a round of applause, Mel and Sue. Our next guest actually used to teach me history. And now you might think our guests are going down the toilet if that's all he has going for him, but it isn't, because he's now world famous because a little over a year ago he discovered he was related to a very old skeleton.
That's right. So, will you please welcome from the Kings of Wessex School in Cheddar, in Somerset, Mr. Adrian Targett.
Here he is.
The real man.
He's real, this is all true.
Real man.
Mr. Target, I don't feel I can call you Adrian, because you're always
Feel
Mr.
free,
Can I?
Richard, feel
Adrian. Okay. Someone has to, I suppose. So, can you tell us what happened? How did this come about that you're related to a very old skeleton?
Well, a television company came to do a programme about Cheddar because it's such an interesting place, as you know. And
He wants to be mayor.
they wanted to photograph the caves, and they wanted to photograph the palace outside of the school. And they wanted to link the skeleton with some local people.
What skeleton? Remember, most towns don't just have skeletons like
Oh,
that.
we've got a very famous 9,000-year-old skeleton.
Right.
And they wanted to link local people with him. So they wanted to DNA some children. They got a sample of DNA from the skeleton.
What, and then you just said, can I do it as well?
No, I said some of the children didn't want to be DNA. They thought it was going to be dangerous injections and things like that.
They're
So
from Somerset.
I said, they were a bit suspicious. And so I said, I'll have it done just to show you there's nothing to it.
Right.
And it was me.
It was you.
It was
related.
me.
It was related to a 9,000, directly related to a 9,000-year-old
And
skeleton.
how far away do you live now from where the skeleton was found?
Oh, 600 yards.
Right.
Yeah.
That's Somerset for you, isn't it? This is where they're proud. The fact there's a bloke whose family hasn't moved in 10,000 years.
They have moved, Stu. They've moved 600 yards.
Hardly
Where do you listen?
impressive, is it?
It's a long way to go. That is a long walk.
Do you live in a cave now, Mr. Targett? Or have you
Oh no, we don't live in caves in Cheddar anymore.
You've done so. What?
The days when people lived in caves in Somerset, Stu, are long gone. Not since the 60s.
Right.
So there is an old woman in Shipton who lives in a hole in the ground. But
So,
it's not the same.
I've read about you in newspapers all around the world because you're related to an old piece of bone.
Yeah.
Do you think that's an achievement to be proud of?
Yeah, it is. In Cheddar, it's a great achievement.
What was that achievement of teaching Rich, who's now
Yeah.
on TV? Was that
Yeah.
famous? I think you actually, Mr. Targett, brought in an old picture. If we can get that up, I don't know if it's. There it is. There. There's Rich when he was young. He had an arrow stuck to his head, going in the wrong direction traditionally.
That's good. What was I like at school, Mr. Targett? Was I all right?
Words fail me.
Do you remember that time in the Ascension Day service in about 1983? And Mr. Herring, the headmaster, said, because we all got the same name down there, he said, can we have a minute's silence to remember Jesus ascending to heaven? And everyone was silent. And then one person in the congregation made a really loud burp that lasted about 5 seconds. Do you remember that?
No, I was already.
That was me. I did that. No one ever knew, but I've just revealed it.
I was already up the tower with the Reverend Denman.
Were you?
by then. Yeah.
That's why he got sacked from being vicar.
Yeah.
Well, if you've ever
own
wondered what it's like in Cheddar and the names of some of the people that live there, then now you know. If you haven't, probably feel slightly confused and bored by that. Mr. Adrian Targett.
Adrian Targett there. Adrian Targett.
He's related to a skeleton.
Well, I'm a bit blinded now, actually, which is good, because we were going to do a link about In the Kingdom of the Blind. In the Kingdom of Channel 5, our next guest is King, which isn't that good when you think about it, really.
Jack Doherty.
Ladies and gentlemen, here he is.
Hi.
Damn that queue, sorry.
Jack Doherty.
Didn't feel the necessity to dress up on the show.
No, you've spotted that instantly. But I did feel the necessity to dress.
Yes.
And I think that's the only requirement for this show, not to be bare.
I just know my granny's going to be sitting at home going, oh, that Jack Doherty was scruffy. He looked like he'd come straight off a building
Well,
site.
I wear a suit all week.
Yeah.
Let me don't.
So at weekends you wear a jumper and some combat trousers.
Yeah.
That's good. It's nice to know.
Is it 4 nights a week or 5 nights a week?
It's 3 now.
3.
Yeah, only 3 to go.
But you must.
Until we're not doing it any
going
longer.
down.
It's getting more and more
You must have interviewed
doable.
hundreds of people now.
Yes, actually, yeah, 600 odd, 700 and yeah.
And
10.
who is the best celebrity that you've had on the show?
The best celebrity is Jack Palance.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because he came on to talk about Treasure Island, in which he played the part of Long John Silver, and he's sold now. He's 86, and he forgot the 2 components that were vital to the interview: A, that he just filmed Treasure Island, and B, that he played the part of Long John Silver. I do too. And he doesn't know the difference between a sign going stage and a sign going fire exit. So this is you go Jack Palance, and then it's a lonely 5 minutes.
And there's an old confused man outside in an alleyway.
Yeah, and then they bring him on, and you go. So tell us about the new
Right, and he was your best
thing,
guest.
and that's been the highlight. Right. But it's best in the way that I mean worst.
I see.
Also,
So what is the worst in the way that I mean actually
best?
worst?
Well,
When I say worst, I actually mean worst.
Well, I hate saying it because it was David Bowie, and I feel crap. I'm 13 when I say that. But it's only because I liked him when I was 13.
That was the best guess.
Yeah, so there's a little 13-year-old inside you. Because you're kind of going, so really in the overview, and let's talk about the schizophrenia of your brothers, and this little 13-year-old going, it's him! It's him! There! I kept touching him.
It was like that for us
Noticing
when we met you on the show.
Well, I thought it would be
yeah.
like that. But
Well,
you're
it's
not
used-
touching me as much as I touched Bowie.
When we were 13, we watched Absolutely, probably were a bit older than that, really. But,
Yeah, of
which
course,
was a
so
great
I'm
show.
kinda
Do you remember
like-
Absolutely? Most of our audience today are too young
Are
to
too
remember
young
the first
to remember-
episode of this show. But,
It was kind of like a quintessential great moment, and it's a British broadcasting triumph,
Yeah.
really, in many ways.
Is there another series of Absolutely in the pipeline?
No.
No. It's very good.
It was years ago, though. No,
you
we're
know
doing
when-
other stuff.
You know
now.
when Morwenna Banks used to dress up as that little schoolgirl? Did that
Yeah.
ever turn you on?
Oh, you're sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, me as well. It's
Yeah,
good.
no,
I didn't.
I used to go out with Morwenna. I actually
Did you?
had sex with her and dressed as that little girl.
You are aware this is... You're aware this is live at 12:15 or something.
I've just become aware that this is live. Morwenna's watching it.
And your
And
family
she
are
probably
watching,
doesn't
and
want
your
to know
children are watching. Lovely.
Never mind. Well, we won't be back next week.
I'd just like to point out that Morwenna Banks wasn't a little girl when
Yeah.
he had sex. Just dressed as one.
You know when
which
I
is all
said
right.
we won't be back next week, that was like,
Yeah.
move off the
I
set.
just wanted to talk about, but she sounded just like one. Sorry, is it you were saying move off?
Yeah, anyway,
Completely,
Jack, apart from making inappropriate sexual innuendos on a Sunday lunchtime, you have another interesting, very special secret skill.
I do, actually. Until recently, I held the record for the balding Scottish man who could eat the most cat food in under 80 seconds.
Really?
Yeah, I did.
Incredible skill.
Richard Jobson stole it from me recently.
bloke from
He's
Skids.
the bloke from Skids into the valley without.
But you're hoping to ever do that again?
Well, I'm
You're gonna give
hoping
it
that
another try?
eventually, you
Well,
know,
funny-
God willing, I'll get the chance to do it
Well,
again.
funnily enough,
Snatch it
we are
back.
80 seconds under.
Are we?
And I did bring in, by chance, a big plate of cat
No.
food today. So bring in
No.
Trevor Natalie.
I didn't know
We're going to
this
go
was
for the
going to
record.
happen.
I know, it's
I'm
amazing.
surprised.
There it is, there's the
Jack
cat
Doherty,
food.
you've got 80
okay.
seconds to break that record. Eat that cat food. Jack
Let's
Doherty's
go.
cat food.
Starting now, let's go for it. Get in there, that's lovely. Come on! Just a little tiny bit.
He hasn't eaten it. Time's up.
Bad luck, Jack. That was
The balding Scottish man's most cat food in under 80 setting record is not yours. It's still
Damn it, damn Richard Jobson. I'll get him though.
Damn
You did a
One
great
day.
job. Ladies and gentlemen, Jack Doherty!
Jack Doherty's back for our in-depth 35-second summary of the week's news.
Yeah.
What I liked about the news this week was in The Sun yesterday. I don't know if you saw this picture of the Queen, and a dog has started sniffing around her in rather a suspicious way. And the Queen actually said, I think he must be able to smell my corgis.
Yeah. Never heard it called that before. Unusual things.
The royal family have a different
And
word
look,
for
there's a
everything.
cartoon here about decriminalising cannabis.
Oh, yeah, I
and
bet
they're
it's
not marching,
hilarious.
they're flying by.
I love that joke.
That is the joke that have made Jack Doherty a star.